Questions about its historical legacy, current challenges, and the future direction remain at the forefront of South Africa's political discourse. The party, which has been at the helm of government since 1994, now faces growing scrutiny over service delivery, coalition governance, and internal divisions. Its January 8th statement is set to be delivered at the Moruleng Stadium, where you've seen our reporters out and about there, and this is in Rustenburg. Let's continue now with analysis on the ANC's journey and its relevance today and what lies ahead. We continue now just about in time with Professor Prof Kondlo from the Wits School of Governance. But as you can see in the meantime, those are some of the visuals there coming in from that stadium ahead of that important talk that will be delivered by President Cyril Ramaphosa, which we told somewhat of marching orders by the president of the ANC. As you may be aware now, senior party leaders are in attendance, and today's messaging will be closely analyzed, we told, and it will not only be by ANC supporters but also by opposition parties, by political analysts and voters across the country, who will be looking for clues about leadership, cohesion, about policy direction, and the party's readiness for the electoral test that lies ahead. But also, it's also worth noting that the January 8th celebration often sets the tone for the ANC's engagement with society in the new year. Now, themes introduced here are frequently resurfacing in campaign messaging and parliamentary priorities and grassroots organizing in the months that follow. So we are told that today's event is therefore not just about commemorating the past, but also about reasserting relevance of the ANC in the present and rebuilding trust ahead of those elections that we've been talking about. And what we also told is that the Moruleng itself carries significance. Hosting the celebrations in this area, we are told, allows the ANC to reconnect with communities outside major urban centers, reinforcing the party's message of being a movement that is rooted among the people. A choice of venue often also reflects a broader political symbolism, and today is no exception. Those are some of the proceedings that are currently happening there on that stage, and we told President Cyril Ramaphosa will be delivering his keynote address around about 11 a.m. or so, and we'll be taking you there as and when that happens, as we also relay that with some of our reporters that are watching developments there. So we park it there for now to continue now with our conversation in studio here with Professor Prof Kondlo from the Wits School of Governance. So we continue now, Prof. Interestingly, as we also continue to watch those live visuals, I'm also reeling from some of the conversations that our reporters on the ground are having with ordinary people as well as party members alike, right? Before we go back to the point that you made before we took that bit of that break in terms of that transition with Mbeki and Zuma, I'm just going to throw it to you so we get a sense of where you're at insofar as listening to some of those voices that have been coming out from ordinary citizens as well as some of the party members. I mean, some of the voices that we're hearing now have really sparked conversations within and outside of the ANC about the party's ability to hold a mirror and reflect itself honestly so.
Yes, I think there are grounds for concerns, especially from the public, about the ANC's commitment to self-renewal. That's what they call it, self-renewal. And self-renewal cannot occur until the ANC deals with some of its historic but very critical challenges. First one is the succession debate within the ANC when it comes to political leadership. I don't think they've dealt with that one. And secondly, is the relationship with money. This is very, very serious, because the issue of corruption in the ANC, you'll find that the root cause actually is the allocation of funds. The factionalization that you find in the ANC, factions that are there. These factions are not ideological. It's not factions based on strategies of extending the liberation space that we have secured. They are not based on that. It's factions based on groupings that are seeking positions. And once you get these positions, the next step is how you get your hand into the cookie jar, you see, the resources of the state. The ANC is not dealing with this very sincerely, you see. And we are hoping that moving forward, the ANC will find a way to deal with this sincerely. Otherwise, people are tired of repetitions, repeated promise after promise, but very little actually happens on the ground. Because that's what we are seeing. It's a lot of promise.
And I'm told we only have a few more minutes left in our conversation here, and I want to go back to the point that you were making around that what many have termed as a tumultuous time for the party itself, that Mbeki Zuma transition, which many have also described as the undoing of the ANC. Where did it all seem to go wrong?
Yeah, I think it started with the 2 points I raised. The succession debate is who should succeed who, and what are the qualities, and what are the strategic issues to also look into. I think the ANC couldn't deal with that debate because in the build-up to the Polokwane conference in 2008, the whole issue, you see, was not about ideas, but it was about persons. This thing was made
personality
to be so
politics.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was made to be very personal between Mbeki and Zuma. Whereas that was actually the opportunity the ANC needed to have grabbed to resolve the issue of succession within the ANC, so that the ANC is stable, you see. And unfortunately, they missed that opportunity. And secondly, was the issue of resources. Because during the Zuma administration, like it or not, corruption got institutionalized. That's why you find that some organs of the state actually had to be revived. They were totally collapsing. These are the challenges that are still facing the ANC even today. Building strong institutions that are free of corruption.
And just before I also let you go, you know, the January 8th statement is of relevance and significance to the party itself. Let's just hear from you what you're expecting to hear, insofar as just not it just being rhetoric, but something that the party will be moving forward with in terms of, you know, giving those marching orders.
I actually doubt if the ANC will actually put a finger on the pulse of things. Because it's so inundated. There are a lot of things that the party is dealing with. Global issues, I'm talking about international political economy issues now. There are issues at regional level, there are issues at local level. I doubt they'll actually have time to really put a finger on the pulse of things. The pulse of things in South Africa is rural development. Rural development, in fact, poverty responds more to rural development than to urban development. I doubt if the ANC will have enough time to put a finger and serious analysis and debate of that particular issue.
Look, there's so many layers to this conversation. I wish we had more time to unpack, but I was thank you so much for your time and insights on the program today. That is Professor Kondlo from the Wits School of Governance here, sharing his insights on the ANC's 114th anniversary and the party's future direction. Thanks so much for that, Prof.